Hello.
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 Hey guys. Welcome to Model Trains Devlog 3. This is the first devlog in 2 months, and we were working on some cool stuff. Uh, along with the features and everything else, there were a lot of bug fixes and stabilizations and things like that, uh, and we had to like sort of rewrite a bunch of stuff from scratch after listening to your feedback, particularly the track system. And we're very excited to show what we have coming up next. And guys, some of you might have already checked out the update on Steam. So it has a few things that you might be aware of. It has a few things that are brand new and you might not be aware of. Yeah, so without further ado, let's start. Vivek, over to you, man.
Yes. Thank you, Shubhank. So, yeah, first thing first. So, in the last vlog, we talked about our new train system. And after train, we obviously had to work on our track system, which is basically now with comes with a very advanced features, and it's also somehow like a uh, pro- production ready, because the last track system that we had, it was very basic and like very bare bones, but it was more of a like a prototypey type. And so like we had to go bit of snapping added here, so when you're drawing a straight line, even your mouse moves a little bit, it will keep the straight line. Full control over the kind of curve you want with your track. And similarly, with along with the S curve and C curve, if you see, we also have a proper arc, a proper semicircle arc, which can help you to create some nice loops with the track. Yep, this. So these are some new stuff. Another major change with the new track system is this node system. You say this node gizmo, which was also available earlier, but the new thing that we have with this node system is now you can just drag them and you can see the entire track changing in the real time. You can drag them however you want, just like this. And the best part is you can also move them in the y direction, and you'll
Woo!
see this nice support structure that gets drawn instantly, which is another new very cool system. We had this support structure earlier also, but that was very hacky and very placeholder type. Like if anyone would have looked below the terrain, they would have seen uh, the support structure going out of the terrain. But this is a new dynamic generation of the pillars that we do now, and this system is very modular. The pillar system, this will be like a foundation for us for our bridges system, and we are also like kept this very modular and very in a way that modders will also be able to provide their own pillars and designs and textures and a lot of stuff with that. So we are keeping this very mod friendly. The whole system of the track is designed keeping mod first mind. All the systems are very modular. We have been testing it out with the huge tracks for figuring out any bottlenecks in terms of performance, in terms of scalable. So all of that has been kept in mind, and so far this is turning out to be a very cool system. We had fun playing it in house, and we have opened it to the playtesters. So the latest build that playtesters have received, you'll see this new track system already there in the game. And yeah, similarly, you can just also.
Awesome. Great stuff, Vivek.
So
I think even
that's
the track is a little bit of brand new at the moment. We can see some new stuff being drawn. But uh, speaking of playing the game, we have also added a save and load system, if I remember correctly.
Don't forget those new trains.
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll go back to the main menu, and one of the important feature with which was missing was basically the option of multiple maps or multiple diorama. In the previous version, you would have only had one option to select one map, but now you have multiple maps. We are slowly adding more maps. Right now, there's just two options in the last playtest build. You'll see a diorama which is like something like this. Let me just load it up. It's filled with a lot of stuff. And then there's one more diorama. It takes time a bit to load all the stuff. And yeah, so you have this one nice diorama. You can see it is also with the new track and the new pillars all around. And also we have added autosave. So like autosave was already there, but this multiple diorama also gives us an option of having multiple slot saves. You can have multiple save options. You can load them, delete them. So if you are creating more and more dioramas, now you have an option of saving them separately and don't lose out on your older dioramas, which like was the case in the last build. So this is another important feature which I think a lot of you would really love. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And all this, just wanted to add again that all this new diorama that we have also made it keeping modding in mind. So all this new diorama that we create, or all this base map that we create, we have also built a map editor, which is currently also available in our internal tools. But when our mod tools will be out, you'll also get this map editor as well, so you can create more maps and test it out in the game as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much,
Yeah.
Vivek. Over to Yadu to talk about some more content updates and things that we have. But yeah, I mean, just a plug in that if you guys have any questions, please send us on the chat on whatever platform you're watching it. We'll
Yeah.
address them at the end of. We have like some 5 minute dedicated slot to just address the questions. So and we can extend it obviously.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think that bit about the new diorama is something that I wanted to talk about as well. But you saw a bit of it that Vivek kind of showed off. Maybe we can go back to it. But the things that saw in the diorama, all the new props and assets, are also part of the game now, and even more. We've added a lot more since that diorama was released on our last Steam build. We've added quite a lot of items, close to 300 plus items in the game now, which you can access through the prop section. We've sort of recategorized some of them. You have buildings, decor, and other objects that you kind of want to use. Some for parts, a bunch of plants, rocks for people who like rocks, and some bits of terrain. But yeah, for now, maybe I'm not going to touch upon this terrain, and trees and some vehicles which you might want to, if you're building maybe a small town or something. So you have all these assets. You can simply just place them, and they will end up being part of your. Let me just, yeah, you can see this better, I suppose. Um, yeah. So some of the other things aside from the props that we added into the game was some very quick ways of doing some editing. By default, you had the ability to just move things around, and they would just stick to the terrain. So what we've also added is some quick tools here that you can actually use to rotate as well as scale in position. So if you press R or click that, and then you click and drag, you can quickly rotate items, and you can also scale them in place if you want to do that as a quite a large building. Let's delete that. The other thing also that again, quality of life stuff that people building in the editor in the game wanted was also things like, hey, the ability to just rotate stuff before just placing them. So that's also there. Hold down control, and then you can do that. So yeah, so those are some of the quality of life things that we added. You can also add plants if you are a plant person, and maybe, yeah, those are again like a bunch of assets. Yeah, I might end up getting distracted if I just keep focusing on this. But so yeah, so if you wanna quickly see all the controls in the game, there is the control section you have for and short keys are all there. Just you can have a look at them and yeah. I
Does
would
that
also
fire
want.
work?
Does the
Sorry.
firework? Good question. Let's just start the fire somewhere here. So the fireworks. So does some other objects also. You can try to kind of figure out if you join our playtest, by the way, at playmodeltrains.com. You can probably find out whether uh, are there other buildings or other assets which also animate like the fire as well. So yeah, so like one of the bigger, I think one of the bigger things that we have done internally also is that a lot of this structures and systems are in place, so that all our work has now suddenly become much faster, including building other systems as well as adding content into the game. So that has been streamlined in extremely cool fashion. So yeah, so expect more content actually down the road as well. And if you have any suggestions for the kind of things that you want to see in the game, that if you like a particular kind of a biome, or if you like particular kinds of plants or buildings for that matter, we'll try to figure out how to get those into the game. We also, I think, one of the things that Vivek was showing was new trains as well. We did a extensive blog post about all the new things that we added to the game. So I'm not going to go into a lot of them right now, but yeah, so once you join the pretest, you get to take a whirl and also build the kind of things that you will see in the diorama aspect. So we have a pretty empty plain terrain to kind of experiment with. We also have this particular diorama that is sort of like a starting point or kind of a test bed for the stuff that you can actually do in the game and see in the game. This is all built within the game, in the game edit, in the game itself. We just exported it and put it as like a diorama so that people can use it as a starting point to kind of play around with. So when we add more features into the game and when we add more content into the game, we will also be releasing new dioramas so that you can have a sort of interesting look at. Just to quickly show those other trains, you can now just click and pick the train you want, and then you can quickly jump into those trains. I mean, not into those trains, but like see them in action. Yeah, so those are the new things that we have in terms of content. Like I said, we'll be adding more and more things soon. So if you have any suggestions, please let us know in the comments or on our Discord, by the way. Yeah, so that's where we are at. Yeah, over to you, Shubham.
Thank you so much, Yadu. I think this diorama looks great, man. And yeah, we are adding new assets almost every day. Like some of the other theme, we choose to pick up, build assets, and then add them. And yeah, you'll get to see them soon. Uh, okay, so now we are on to the future as to just quickly discuss where we are and what we are going to do next. So as you guys saw, we have been tweaking some of the things that we already have had built earlier based on your feedback, particularly, which was primarily the track system, which is the foundation of the game itself. Uh, One of the things that a lot of people have told us is about creating some basic networks like tracks merging into each other, junctions, and things like that. So as you can see, we are working on that right now. And the next major update that we'll have, hopefully at the end of this quarter, that is when you should be able to get that. Along with that, we are also building a system which lets you edit the terrain. So now you'll be able to raise mountains and create oceans and things, not oceans, but yeah, at least depths and things like that. So you'll be able to move things around the terrain itself. If you want to like a mountainous sort of a zone, you can do that. If you want something which is a little more sort of a desert feel with something. You can have that. We have texture painting. We have a bunch of textures, so you can instead of a grassy sort of a thing, you can have sandy textures, sandy beaches, and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff which is coming up next, which we are working on now. After that, we'll have like a few more things that we'll still spend the time on. It's a bit later, but it will come eventually. And as you can see the one of the most requested feature is derailment and the actual physics implementation. What happens if you drop a pebble or a stone on top of a train, or if two trains collide and things like that. So yeah, keep watching this space. We'll be getting to that soon. But speaking of what's coming, what we are working on now, I think Vivek has a few things that he wanted to give you guys a sneak peek on. It's still very, very early into the development. We'll probably won't have it ready for another maybe more than a month or so. But yeah, I think it's a good time to tease a little bit and show what we have coming up next. Vivek?
Yeah, sure. So, as you see on our roadmap about the junctions and all, so currently we are extending the track system and bringing in the capability of junctions, basically where you can create multiple tracks from a single track. And as you can see, we had some basic bare bones where you can create a Y type of junction and you can extend them together. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like you can have multiple junctions getting added in them, and you can also then you'll have a junction node similar to how you have track nodes where you select a junction node and you can also adjust the junction a little bit. As you can see, we don't have any constraints put over it. So over the time, as the system gets matured, we'll have all of that sort of stuff there. Right now the train also doesn't follow the junction, so this is something that we are working on, which will be the larger part of how the whole train network system works. But yeah, this is something, one of the things that we are currently working on. And
Vivek,
apart from this,
Mr. Malik has a question about underwater rail tracks. When are we building those?
yeah, sure. I mean, technically you can. You just raise a mountain and add water from our prop tool. I think we
Yeah,
don't have it anymore, but we used to have that. Uh, yeah, we have this water. You can add it.
we have a water body, right?
Uh,
So I think,
yeah,
yeah, he should still be able to. But maybe like some inspiration for the next diorama. We can probably build
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Why don't you try it out, Mr. Malik? Please join our playtest at playmodeltrains.com.
We
and
have water. You already saw the water textures in the new diorama. So
show us
yeah,
what you got. Yeah.
give it a shot. And yeah,
yeah,
if it's awesome, we'll definitely feature it on our socials and other places.
yeah.
Shout out.
And yeah, and another work in progress tool, which is also the most requested tool, and I think a lot of people would be happy once it's there, is the terrain tool. And I'm happy to say that currently it is work in progress. It has still a lot of features left and a lot of polish needs to happen. But I can show you some bare bones. Like there's start with this texture painting. So you have this small town that I just created, and we can just paint this kind of a texture over it, and then maybe a little bit of small part like this.
Maybe reduce that strength a bit.
This, we don't have a station for this train, but sure we can. This is a like a hangout place for everyone who comes to this train station without a station. But yeah, so we have texture painting, and then we also have basic height maps. So you can raise terrain. I'll show you over here. It would be nice, and you can see along with this your trees. So you can do this. You can also use flatten height, which is basically set a specific height And then, for example, I want to raise this entire town. So you can also do that. Yep. And then you have smooth out, which is basically just smooth this rough edges. And yeah. So yeah, this is the
Nice.
basic terrain tool which is there. So now you can play with it. It is still a bit of time before you can get your hands on this, but we are working on this. So
Yep.
this will be available to you, all of you, pretty soon.
As you can see, it's clearly a work in progress,
Yes, we are
Yeah,
a
but
small
we are
team, and it takes time for us
yeah.
to build
They were
like
supposed
somebody
to go
else.
up. Yeah, but
it's like, hey, it worked on my machine when I tried it.
yeah,
Cool.
Okay, cool. That's all we have for today. I don't think we have any further questions.
I think there is a question somewhere.
Oh yeah, there is a question. I think. Okay, so I'll just read it for you guys to answer, Vivek and Yadu. And it's
okay.
from Suraj. And he asks, I was making roads and walls, which was very time consuming. When we extend the roads, it would be better if the material adjusted accordingly.
So it
Okay.
depends on what you did. At the moment,
Yeah.
there are multiple ways of doing this. One way is what Vivek is doing right now is to manually place each piece of the road. I think that's a zebra crossing, but I think the one next to it is the road. Uh, yeah, or you can use this path tool, which is essentially similar in nature. Vivek, you maybe want to just show it with a wall; it will be much more
Yeah.
visible. Or even like an electric line or something. Also, those are walls. Yeah. So you might, yeah.
Yeah.
So those are you will still need to edit them a bit. They're not disappearing; they're kind of LODing out. But
Yeah. Would you say this?
essentially, the one way of doing it is to actually manually place one by one. The other is to use like a path kind of a tool. We are still adding more features onto it. I know that it is like bare bones. Once you kind of get your hands on this and play around with it a bit, and you can also let us know how else uh, you might want to kind of use it and how sort of easier this can actually be. Um, I don't know if so. One of the other things that we are kind of working towards is also is sort of like a grid and snapping system, so that you can easily place objects a bit faster and easier, which makes your placements a lot more easier. So that is something that you would want to look forward as well. So like a bunch of things which is has to do with the quality of life of like the prop editing besides what you have right now. I know that like a bunch of things are a bit cumbersome right now. So if you have any more feedback and you're a playtester, please do drop by our Discord and leave feedback in the feedback channel. And that is something that we constantly look at and address depending on the sort of the volume of the request also. So if somebody were to post something, please put it up or do a plus one, so that we know that this is something that you're also interested in, so that we know that there is interest and we can actually pull it forward in from our backlogs as well. Trust us when we say that the like almost all the things that people are requesting or talking about is something at some point we have talked about, and it is most likely in our backlogs. So so yeah, including NPC animals, which I think we had some at some point. Yes, we
I think
had
we have
goats and
sheets.
sheep. We had sheep.
We had sheep.
So yeah, so we do have. Do we have any animals at the moment? I don't think we have
No,
any
no, no, we
at the
don't.
moment. I think we had a bunch. We had sheep, definitely had sheep. So yeah, so and there was a build where we experimented with birds actually, like a system where birds was just flying around. I don't know if anybody had a chance to see it. I think it was one of our GDC builds which had birds in them, which we
Yeah.
kind of will most likely revisit. Um, yeah, so if you have thoughts, please do share them in the feedback channel. Please do take all of it for a whirl, and yeah, let us know. This is where we are. Hopefully, in a month's time, we'll have more to show you. Like Shubhank was saying, that we have our terrain system to look forward to. Interconnected tags are coming soon, and a whole lot more. You can join our playtest on playmodeltrains.com. Once you join in, it might take a while for you to get a request because we kind of do this in batches, and also depending on the kind of work that we are doing, and also depending on what kind of data that you send to us as well. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you know anybody who's also interested, or a rail fan and wants to contribute, at least by playtesting and giving us feedback, please share this link with them as well, so that we can grow the community as well as build the game faster, and make it far more interesting than it is right now. So yeah, so that's where we are. Once we have more things to show you, you can find us again on YouTube as well as on LinkedIn, where we will definitely share our next Devlog 4 links as well. So yeah, so keep an eye out. Do drop by the Discord and join the playtest. Thank you for joining us late into the evening today. And yeah, uh, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, yeah.